Good morning, dear student of class 11. Today I am going to start your first chapter in Snapshots, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, written by William Saroyan. About the lesson. What's about the lesson? This story is about two poor American boys. They belong to a tribe known for its honesty. The two cousins, Morad and Aram, have an intense longing for horse riding, but they can't afford to buy a horse. So, going against the family reputation, Morad steals the white horse of John Byro. Aram is shocked because it is a stolen horse, but he discounts the charge of stealing and goes for a ride. One day he hears John Byro telling Uncle Khosrow about his missing horse. He gives the news to Morad. Next morning, the horse was returned to the place from where it had been stolen. The story is plainly about the harmless pranks of two little boys. They do take out Byron's horse, but for a joyride only. They don't mean to sell it for money. So Aram doesn't think it amounts to stealing. The story has a funny character, Uncle Khosrow, who silences every speaker with his roar. He is crazy. The story gives us a glimpse of trivial life. It also ends on a happy note. John Byro feels happy when he finds his horse stronger and better tempered than before. About the lesson. Then we go throughout the summary of the lesson. Aram and Maud were cousins. Aram was 9 years old while Morad was 13. Morad was a lively and adventure-loving boy, but he was considered crazy. Both were fond of horse riding. They belonged to the Garflonian tribe. They were too poor to buy a horse, but their family was famous for honesty and they were proud of it. They believed in doing the right things and not cheating anybody. Stealing was unthinkable. They were the natives of Armentia. One summer morning, Morad came to Aram's house and woke him up by tapping on the room window. Aram jumped out of bed and looked out the window. He saw Morad sitting on a beautiful white horse. He rubbed his eyes to make sure that he was not dreaming. He could not believe that Morad had bought or borrowed the horse. The only other way was that he had stolen it. But it was difficult to believe. No member of the family could be a thief. Morad told Aram to come out quickly if he wanted to enjoy a horse ride. Aram was both delighted and frightened. He asked his cousin where from he had stolen that horse. But he got no reply. Evidently, Morad had stolen the horse. Aram was tempted to go for a ride. He told himself that stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing money. They were just crazy about horses. They would be guilty of stealing only if they offered to sell the horse for money. Aram put on his clothes and sat on horseback behind his cousin. Behind their house was the countryside, fruit gardens, irrigation pits, and grapevines. The horse began to trot and Maud begins to sing aloud. There was a crazy streak in the family which Mordred had inherited. Their uncle Khosrow was also crazy. He was furious in nature, irritable and impatient. He did not allow anybody to speak. His pet words were, "It is no harm. Pay no attention to it." Once his own house was on fire and he was the barber's shop. His son Arak ran to the shop to tell about the fire, but he as well wrote that he was no harm. Mordred's own father Zorab was a very practical man, but Mordred was the natural descendant of his uncle. Anyway, the two cousins let the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, Mordred asked Aram to get down. He wanted to ride alone. He said proudly that he had way with a horse. He named this white horse Vizayar. Aram too wanted to ride alone, but he was told to wait. He was given a chance and he had a bad experience. The horse ran off breakneck speed. Aram fell, but the horse continued running. It took them half an hour to find and bring back the horse. It was morning, the whole world was awake. Their problem was to hide the horse, but Mordred knew a place. Aram asked him again how long ago he had stolen the horse. Mordred told him to tell a little lie and say that they had started riding that very morning. Mordred led the horse to a deserted vineyard of a farmer, Fedvazian. He added that he had an understanding with horses. That afternoon, Uncle Khosrow came to Aram's house. Then came another visitor, John Byro, who complained that his white horse had been stolen the previous month. Uncle Khosrow, as usual, shouted him down. He told Byro to stop crying over a horse when he had legs to walk 10 miles to go to get there. Aram's mother consoled Byro. She said that Khosrow had a gentle heart, but he was homesick. Aram ran over to Mordred's house to tell him about John Byro was wanted to his horseback. At the same time, he extracted a promise from his cousin that he would keep the horse for at least 6 months. Mordred was that time giving first aid to a robin bird which had hurt his ring. He then let the bird free. For 2 weeks, the cousins took the horse out from the barn and rode it. But every morning the horse threw Aram and ran away. One morning when they were taking the horse to the barn, they met John Byro. Mordred went forward to do the talking. He made another claim that he had a way with farmers. John Byro explained the horse and swore that it was just like his horse. He also contained the teeth of the horse to make seer. But Mordred told him with confidence that his horse was named by my heart and it was his animal. Byro said that he believed Mordred because he knew that his family was known for honesty. He told them that perhaps the horse was the twin of his own stolen horse because boys of such an family could never steal. Early the next morning, the cousin took the horse to Byro's vineyard and put it there. The dogs there did not bark. Mordred took the credit. He said that he had a way with dogs as well. He patted the horse lovingly before taking leave of it. The afternoon, John Byro came to Aram's house in a carriage drawn by his white horse. He, however, wondered at the change that occurred in the horse. He looked stronger than ever and better tempered too. He thanked God for the recovery of his lost horse, but Uncle Crossrow was irritated and shouted at him to shut up. Student, this is the summary of this lesson. Thank you, student, and